Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to one of my favourite people, Matt Goss. How are you?
Good, mate. It's good to see you again.
Hey, listen, this is fantastic. Well, normally you're in your town, which is Las Vegas. You're there at Caesars with the Gossy Room. And now you're in my town, where I live, Nottingham. Congratulations.
I'm really actually glad to be up here. You know, it's like to come out of Caesars Palace and see some Caesars properties, in my homeland. It's actually nice to be part of the family and come do some really exclusive shows. And obviously we just did London Palladium, which was completely bananas, and it's definitely up there in the top 5 gigs in my life, like up there with Wembley Stadium. It's like incredible. The Palladium is a beautiful venue as it is, but I had 2 guests, they didn't even have seats. It was really like, I've never seen anything like it. It was very, very emotional in the best way.
What I love about this trip particularly, and you've come back occasionally over the last few years, although you've been focusing on Las Vegas, I'd never seen such momentum and warmth and interest in you. It's like people have finally cottoned on, A, you're an amazing singer, and B, you've got an act that we really aren't doing here anymore, and we need you back.
Well, that means more to me than you could possibly imagine. I always, when the Brits come and see my show at Caesars Palace in Vegas, and they say, "We're proud of you, Matt," it's like it blows me away, and I think they always get surprised when I'm so humbled by that comment. I mean, I do well over 100 shows outside of my country every year for the last 7 years, and but when anyone from my country says we're proud of you, I always try and explain to them, when I go up into my room after the show, that's what I think about. And I'm a mother's son, and when people from where you live and where you grew up and where you were born say they're proud of you, it's like they don't have to say that. So I'm always very humbled by that, so thank you.
You're a stunning act, and I first saw you, I think, 3 years ago when we first spoke, and then we had lunch a couple of years ago, and since then so much has happened. Firstly, of course, condolences about your mother. I know it's been a hugely testing year. Are you getting any solace, or is there anything that can get you out of this situation? I know you've taken it very bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange thing. I'm a very private man, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm still able to do what I do. I don't really wear my private life on my sleeve. Nobody really knows, and I like it that way. But I felt, and I'm still actually genuinely, and I have no concern about being honest about how I feel about my mother. She was my best friend, and the best way I've said it before, but there's a gaping hole in my life, and I've made a decision that I'm not going to put a rug over that hole. Otherwise I could fall through it again and do myself more damage. There's talk of Wembley next year and the Sydney Opera House in Australia this year. I've just renewed my contract with Caesars Palace this year. These are incredible things. Talk of also a movie in March, first movie. I'm just a simple London boy from Lewisham, I was born in Lewisham Hospital, and she was my anchor. It doesn't matter. I'll still walk into it. I have beautiful hotel rooms, and I travel in style, and I'm just, nothing matters quite as much as it did when Mum was around, because Mum was the one that was genuinely interested in my life, and she saw the good in me, and
no agenda, of course. That's the thing about mums. They're not playing the game like people are in the business.
Well, I have to be honest with you, mate. I don't worry about an agenda, because most people I attract have already found their own skin. I'm very, very comfortable in my skin now, as you are. I can see, and you're so easy to talk to, and that's because you're a man. You know where you are, and there's no getting away from it now. We're old bastards, and we're still keeping ourselves in shape. I box for 14 years now. I box 3 times a week, and I keep myself very able-bodied. Pride myself in that. My granddad always wanted me to make sure I could take care of myself, and so did my mum. And you got to understand, there was never a show in my life that I have done that I haven't spoken to my mum afterwards. So I am just trying, as a very hopefully humble human being, just trying to find my way into the acceptance, not only of the loss of my mum, but I have no clue how to really mourn for her. So that's all. I've got to do it in between breaks, and I don't know when I'm going to let all of this out, but I went for a walk in St James Park the other day, and I thought that was going to be a time where it was going to be a big kind of momentous thing, but I actually ended up enjoying my time in the park. And then I realised that my mum is everywhere. It's not, who knows, I know that I'm going to have to let some of this out, but I don't know when it's going to happen.
When I see you on stage, and I've said this to you before, you are an incredibly spiritual, emotional guy who brings so much to your music. How do you harness that now, especially when you're in a difficult stage of your life or going through something as tough as this? Is it hard not to lose it? You're stood on the stage at the Palladium, there's one person you want to be there and she isn't. How do you keep that together?
My fans always continue to turn up for me, and so when I go on stage, I never dial it in. I never dial in a vocal. As I said, I could be at the Royal Albert Hall at Wembley, or I'm playing 500,000 people in Washington in June, and I will sing the same tonight as I will in front of 500,000 people. You don't dial in a vocal, you sing your vocal from the deepest part of your heart. And now the good thing is the fellas come and with their scotch and their suits, and the ladies come in their cocktail dresses, and they can tell, I think, that I've got a lot of life under my belt. And when we have a chat, especially as intimate shows like this, they'll leave feeling that they know me a bit better than they did when they walked in, and I'll feel the same about them. Yeah, I mean, my band are incredible. I mean, they trust me implicitly and I trust them. The reality is, I mean, they had no idea what the set list was going to be on the Palladium. I'll just shout it out and I'll wing it. I have no idea what my set's going to be tonight. But I'll feel it and I'll see what I feel like doing, and I think that's the thing. And just don't mess with the man with the microphone,
Right. And then the voice. I mean, you've been here 10 days, you flew in, it's a long flight, that air conditioning and all that stuff. You're going from Vegas, which is 80, to England, which is currently 1 degree. What pressure is there on you vocally, and how are you feeling?
I'm very tired, but my voice is a workhorse. My voice always turns up. I've been very, very blessed with my pipes. After, well over 100 shows a year, your voice just... It's one of the very, very robust parts of my being,
You are the ultimate showman, and you got to do something, talk about career highs this year. You got to go on Loose Women. I did warm up for them last year for a year. It's quite a show, that, isn't it?
I love doing Loose Women. It's one of the shows that I look forward to doing because they really know how to make you feel welcome, and it is like, I mean, if you've got a bashful bone in your body, which I do, you have to really try and leave that somewhere very, very far, far away from that studio, because it's you just have to be, okay, I'm jumping off the edge. That is Loose Women. When you go into that show, you jump off the edge.
Is it fun being you? I mean, I see the reaction you get outside these theatres. I've stood there at the Gossy Room. I've never had it. We've spoke about this before. A deeply unattractive man that I am. This attention and the warmth and the love you get from the women. Does it ever become normal?
Well, I think it's funny in the fact that the things that become normal, not to talk about the women, I have so much, I like it, the fact that the fellas and the ladies come to my show and they just get dressed up. They got their best suits on, their best dresses. Thankfully, the ladies know that I like a great pedicure and a nice set of legs. And I mean, it's nice for me. I get to have a little bit of an ogle on stage at the beautiful women, and the fellas flirt with all the ladies in the show. And I have my dancers called the Dirty Virgins. I mean, I will say my show is definitely it's grown up and it's fun and it's got a lot of swagger. It's a bit edgy, as you know. It's a bit cheeky, and the bottom line is it's definitely a good night out. That's why that's why I just renewed with Caesars, and we're going into our 7th year.
I've seen that show, I think, 4 times now, and it's sexy and it's fun and it's well lit. And in the Gossy Room, I mean, you've got your own room. Do you still pinch yourself when you go down that Las Vegas Boulevard and there it is, Celine Dion, Elton John, Rod Stewart, Shania Twain, Mariah Carey, Matt Goss?
I sing from my heart, and nobody gave this or spoon-fed this to me. It's been one hell of a journey, as you know. But I do feel very, very blessed to be in that company. And honestly, I mean, I travel all over the world with this show. It's not just Caesars. I really came home to see if I could connect with Mum. And I just said to the lads, can you put the Palladium on and see what venues are available? And the whole thing sold out in about 5 minutes. And it was to come home and have that kind of love. And I know on Tuesday I'm going to be, heading back to LA and then, 2 days off and then back doing shows at Caesars. But I really, really am going to miss my lovely country and the people that have treated me. They treat me so well here. and there's so much love, and they talk to me like they've known me forever, which they kind of have in a way.
And you get that it's exceptional, though, that you can do it. Most people go to Vegas. Last time I was hearing horror stories of people opening on Monday, being closed by Friday, restaurants opening on Tuesdays, they're gone by Saturday, they just kick the lot out. I mean, it's a brutal town where very few last.
I'm hearing there's definitely talk taking this into 10 years and at Caesars, and so I'm extremely proud, and they know that my room, the Gossy room, and the Gossy side bar has become a destination point at Caesars. It's right next to Nobu, De Niro, so I'm in good company.
Absolutely. I hope you realise how loved you are. I think this trip must have been especially difficult for you, but you've pulled it off brilliantly. In a sense, you've come across with humility and warmth, and most importantly, talent. You can't buy that talent, and we're so glad to have you back. I look forward to seeing the show tonight, and of course you're doing Manchester tomorrow. Congratulations on the Palladium. What an achievement. And come back soon, won't you?
Yeah, I just want to say to everybody, I really am a proud Brit, and keep coming to see us at Caesars Palace, and just if I make you proud in any way, I'm humbled by you, and I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.
And don't be too sexy tonight. I'm going to be at the back of the room. Give us a man a chance. Come on.
That I can't guarantee.
Matt Goss, thank you.
Thanks.